Hello, everyone, and welcome to my first ever podcast. I'm your host, Caroline Susko, and I'm so excited to be finally sharing this experience with you all as we navigate through life, grow as people, and shift towards a brighter mindset. Thank you so much for listening. Now, let's get to it. This is On the Bright Side. I can't believe I'm speaking into this mic and recording my very first episode. It's so wild to me. This has been my dream for a while now, where I can create a platform to help people grow, give you guys the positivity you need as we navigate through life together, talk about life in general and everything between, because something's always going on, let's be real. But let me begin by introducing myself so I'm not just a voice behind the mic. Again, my name is Caroline Susko. I'm 20 years old, and as I record this first episode, I just got home from University of New Hampshire, my second year I'm already done with. Don't blink because college goes by so fast. It feels like just yesterday I was a freshman going into New Hampshire. Wild. But anyways, I'm from upstate New York, Saratoga Springs. Some of you guys may know it for the racetrack. Actually, you would be surprised how many times in college when I was trying to tell people where I lived and introduce myself, they would be like, "Oh, you watch cars?" I'd be like, "No, horses." So let me make that clear. It's horses, not cars. A lot of people come all over the world in the summer. It's a super touristy place. People watch horses, bet. I just love going to dress up and be with my friends, and I'm such a people watcher, so I love just seeing everyone doing stuff and having fun. And then there's also the Disney Resort, Disney Springs, and that's also based off of Saratoga Springs. So you guys could know it from there. I've never been there, but one of my friends, when I met her in college, she thought for the longest time that I lived in Disney Springs because she has a resort house there, and she thought I was her neighbor. But no, I live in Saratoga Springs, New York, so you guys may know it. But for more of my real background story, I have struggled with anxiety and was diagnosed with OCD around middle school. It was following my parents' divorce, which was a lot on me and my family. I mean, it is for any family, anyone. But it all started happening and impacting my life around middle schoolish. And of course, it has ever since. I'll share some experiences with you guys later, of course, because I want you guys to understand my background. And if I can help anyone, I would love to be able to do it through my story. But what you guys need to know right now is, despite all the hardships and challenges that I faced, I've grown and learned so much. And looking back several years later, I've turned a corner that has not only moved me into a better place, but it also has allowed me to appreciate the power of your mind and your mindset. Your mind can be a barrier in life, like it was for me. I let my mind take over and let it do whatever it wanted to do. But it can also be a lifeline to a better place, which is somewhere positive that is filled with so many opportunities. So even though I struggled with anxiety, I always say I wouldn't change my experience. I feel like it can always help someone. Because let's face it, we all struggle. Life is hard. Life can be hard. We all go through our own things. Some people journal, some people see therapists, some people blog, but I chose to do this podcast to be able to talk to you guys and to try to inspire you and let you feel like you're not alone and give you that extra pump of positivity in the morning. So, wow, I'm so excited. I'm already a couple minutes in. Okay. So with the name of my podcast comes a story to why I chose the name On the Bright Side. So it was the beginning of 2022, so this year, and I got a text from one of my best friends I met at college. It was about a post I posted. It was about my anxiety, and it was my dream board. I posted it on Pinterest, so it was only a few people saw it. It wasn't anything big. I was just playing around. And let me tell you, dream boards work. For anyone who is not familiar with a dream board, all it is a collage and pictures and quotes that represent the future self you want to obtain and what you want to do with your life and so on. So the goal is that behind this, you have a bunch of pictures, quotes, and all that, and you hang it up and you look at it every day. And so when you wake up, you go to sleep, you see it, and it's supposed to subconsciously manifest it into existence and put those dreams into existence because you see it daily and you're like, oh, that's life I want to live. I'm looking at mine right now. And so I put mine up in my dorm at college, and there's this girl on mine. She's at a flower shop. She's like smelling flowers. I put her on it because I was like, oh, I want to be that happy. Like, I want to live in the moment. She's clearly living in the moment in this picture. And I had it on my dorm wall every day. And then me and my friend didn't even realize, ended up going to the flower place and taking pictures. And I realized a month later, I was like, oh my gosh, that is that. Oh my gosh. You don't even realize what you're doing with it. So for mine, I went on Pinterest and I used pictures of people in their happy places, positive environments, positive quotes. I'm reading mine right now. It says, your comfort zone will kill you. Spend time with people who are good for you and your mental health. Mindset is everything. I'm becoming the best version of myself. Yes, you can. Your comfort zone will kill you. So I chose all those quotes because I wanted to represent that state of happiness. And there's so many pictures of just people at their best, living in the moment, having fun, doing their thing. And yeah, so I used it to represent my state of happiness and what I wanted to be in and how I wanted my life to look, because I wanted to experience these opportunities of pure happiness. And for once, not let my anxiety get in the way, because I've let my anxiety get in the way for so long, so long. And I was like, no, it's not taking over my life anymore. Like the other day, I was going to New Hampshire and I woke up the morning of and I was like, I feel sick to my stomach. I am so anxious. Guys, I don't think I can go. And I was like, no, this is it. You're not letting your anxiety dictate what you do and take over your life. And I pulled myself together, went to New Hampshire, had so much fun. And that's like the topic behind today's episode. We'll get into more in it. So there was a bunch of setbacks with my anxiety and things that were brought into my life because of my anxiety and just set me back from living my best life. So I wrote how I wanted to live a life like my dream board and how I wanted to change the way I lived and so on. So I shared this on my Pinterest board and shared it with some of my friends. And one of my friends, she is amazing. I love her. I'm not going to say her name, but she knows who she is. So she texted me after I posted it on my Pinterest and like shared it with a couple friends. And she was like, Caroline, this helped me so much. Me and my sister relate to you and what you felt. We felt the same way. And I just want you to realize that we're going through similar things. And I still have that text today. I kept it in my notes. I thought it was one of the sweetest texts ever. She probably doesn't even know how much it did for me. Love that text. Amazing. I always look at it. I love her. And her text allowed me to realize we all go through similar things, and it's not only important that we are there to help each other, but we're there to lift each other up and keep going and just let people realize that we're all going through things and we all actually experience a lot more of the same things than we would think. And with that, there's always a positive side to everything. That's how I like looking at it. Like my old self could not imagine me doing this, and you guys will understand more in depth with the coming episodes. But I believe that text was my sign to start. That was such an inspiring text for me, and I love it. Again, I still have it. Love it, love it, love it. And I'm ready to lift you guys up, just like so many of you have for me. And I'm ready to show you guys how we shift to a brighter mindset, because, you know, that's such an important factor in life. And when I learned to shift my mindset, just to be like a brighter and happier one, it changed my life for the absolute better. And I want to share that with you guys. And I'm hopeful that in sharing and talking openly, I can connect with you guys and just make you feel like you're not alone, because a lot of that time I did feel alone and I didn't feel understood, and I feel like I can help. And if I can't help, I can talk. I'm a talker. But before we dive into that topic, I wanted to pave the way for future episodes because they will cover so many important messages that I have closely and carefully picked out, like how we get out of our comfort zone, validating our self-worth, and friendships to know which ones to keep, which ones to let go, and we'll also explore college experience and just a lot of life in general with special guests. I'm so excited for you to meet these guests and hear from them. I've picked them out very carefully, and they've all changed my life in one way or another. So I'm excited for you guys to hear them. But with this podcast, my ultimate goal is that when you guys are listening to me talk, it makes you feel similar to when you go to a close friend for help or a family member or just like someone to make you feel better. I know we can all think of that person that has automatically grounded us in a hard time, you know, even at our highest, our lowest, or anywhere in between, they've helped us at some point in some way. For me, those are my closest friends and my mom. They have automatically been my go-tos since day one, and when I need help, I know I can go to them. And the second I just hear their voice, I'm like, okay, Caroline, you're okay. You're in a safe place. Let's work through this. You got this. You're good. And it just helps with the experiences we go through. And so with that, I hope I can be that person for you and be a voice that you guys can relate to. So thank you for choosing my podcast and wanting to get to know me. The support for this podcast has been unreal. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to you listeners and everyone who believed in me and told me I could do it, because here I am, already a few minutes in. It's just taken me forever to even start. So the fact that I'm here, we're celebrating it. And here on this podcast, we celebrate the little things. So here's to the beginning. Okay, now before we get into the main topic of today, I want to recognize something that I'm thankful for, a blessing in my life, and I want you guys to all do the same, because in my opinion, that's the start to getting on a brighter, happier mindset, is realizing the good we have in life, because a lot of it is overlooked and we don't realize how many blessings we have. I'm so excited to get home and be home. Don't get me wrong. I love New Hampshire, love all my friends there, but being home is awesome, especially in the summer. Love Saratoga, like I said. My family is also super close in distance, my extended family, like my cousins and all that. So to be able to see them is amazing. I love it. And my friends too, we all have hectic schedules, and after the first couple of weeks, our schedules start to clash. Like some girls are working at boutiques like me, some girls are working at restaurants, all over the place, internships. And so we've had sleepovers, some bonfires. We went out to dinner a couple times. We are suckers for going out to dinner. We love dressing up and going out to get food and just hanging out. That is our thing to do. I feel like if you had to ask us what we do most, it's go get food, where we love to eat. And we're also going to see some concerts, Zac Brown Band, Morgan Wallen, Train. So that'll be fun. But my friends from home, I've actually known them, a lot of them since kindergarten. Two of them are even my cousins. So it's just awesome because some of them are literally family to me. And if not, they are family in a different way. But after we all split up and went to college, it's always nice to come home and listen to everyone's semesters and experiences, because the girls went all over the place. There's one of my friends in Canada, some in Tennessee. We got Fairfield, I'm UNH. There's South Carolina, Florida, all over the place. We are all over the grid. And just to come home and talk about our experience and stuff, because it's so different, and that's what makes it so fun. There's so many different things going on at each school. You would think we'd all have such a similar experience, but it's really all over the place, depending on if you're north or south or where you are in the country. That brings me to my topic of today, is getting out of your comfort zone and doing what's best for you and taking that first step and starting. So with my friends, I remember we were getting ready to go to college, and I was like, I wish we were together. You guys are my life. I don't want to know anyone but you guys. You're my world. And that's where it comes in with widening your comfort zone and your circle so you can grow as a person and experience new things. Because I didn't realize the importance of this life lesson until I fully went to college and experienced my sophomore year. I was going into my first year of college. It was very tough to transition. I was going 4 hours away from home. Again, big homebody, anxious girl, didn't know what was going on. And let me tell you, everyone in New Hampshire that goes there is from New England area, and there's very few people outside that zone. So I went and I was like, I know no one. What am I doing? I wanted to love it. I was like, why does everyone else love it? This doesn't even sound great to me. Why do I want to go to 4 hours away with none of my friends? So right from the start, I had a horrible mindset. But it wasn't the school, wasn't the people. It was my anxiety and my mental health and my mindset, and how I let my anxiety take over and allow for my mindset to become so negative. And I was like, why don't I love this place like everyone else? I was so upset. No wonder why, Caroline, you were the most negative person in the world. So throughout the first year and up to the very end of the year, I was a complainer about being at school. Like, if you ask anyone, the entire time I was complaining, I was crying, I was throwing up, I was all over the place. Ugh, like, I don't know how people were around me. And I literally had a countdown on my phone until days I was home. I was there the third day and I was like, okay, 72 days left until I go home for the first time. Get me out of here. I just wanted to go to my safe place, which was Saratoga, my home. I wanted to be home with my friends and family. And I was like, oh, to be back in high school. Like, it was my favorite thing ever. And the first week I was there, I was throwing up a storm. I literally had a place in the parking lot where I would call my mom or friends crying so upset. I was like, Mom, take me home. Like, I can't do it. This isn't for me. Also, timeout. I need to give a shout out to Riley, my freshman year roommate, for dealing with me. She is and was a saint for the amount of times I went home. Oh my gosh, like oh my gosh, just shout out to you, Riley. You did the most. Lord have mercy. Anyways, fast forward to my sophomore year. I had just gotten back to school because sophomore year we go back a week before for polish week. So I went back, gave it another shot. I was sick to my stomach every day. I remember waking up and I wanted to vomit. I was at the beach club, one of my friends' beach clubs. So much fun. Like, how could you not have fun there? I was so lucky to be able to go, and I was just like sick to my stomach all day, like not eating, no appetite. And I just like hid behind a wall. I was calling my parents, crying every day. I'd go into the bathroom while they were out there and I'd be like, Mom, get me home. Like, I am so unhappy. I was like, UNH for once is just not for me. Like, I will say. And the weekend before even school started, because it was polish week, my dad came to pick me up. So I came home and I talked to my parents. I swear this has a positive side. Just let me get there. I came home and talked to my parents and they were like, what do you want to do, Caroline? Like, you're in your sophomore year. You've gone a year there. If you don't like it, come home. And I was like, I don't know what I want to do because I love the girls out there. Like, they're awesome people. I didn't really get to know them super close yet because I went home the second semester. But I was like, oh, they're so nice and I don't want to leave them. And I can remember when I was like, you know, Caroline, this is it. This is your life. You can either stay in your comfort zone and keep living the same old life with the same people that just make you feel comfortable, or you can grow as a person. You can get out of your comfort zone and shift your mindset to start focusing on all the good and all the blessings you have, because, you know, a lot of people can't go to college, and like, be grateful that you're in college, going to college, getting an education. And I can literally picture the exact time and place in my head where I shifted my mindset and started looking for the positive things in my life. So my dad brought me back up and I walked back into the sorority house because that was where I was living at the time. And I was like, I'm going to start pointing out thankful things. To be in this house, I love it. The juice dispensers, my favorite thing ever. I walked in and I was like, you know, like, I really like this living room. It's an awesome place to watch movies and be with my friends. And then I'm walking up the stairs after my dad dropped me off. I'm like, okay, let's try it one more time. And I fell down the stairs. The second I walked into the house, I fell down the stairs. And thank gosh, I had that mindset to be like, okay, Caroline, like, positive, funny, life is good. Because if I was in that negative mindset for that minute, I would have just got back in the car. I would have been like, bye, UNH, you are done. And I remember I just sat on the stairs and I just started laughing. I was like, you know, like, this is funny. Like, you can't make this up. So that night, when I came back, I started writing 3 things I was grateful for on my app in my notes. I'm thankful that my parents are on the same page with me. I'm thankful that I'm living in ACIO, like a new opportunity to meet new people. And I'm thankful for the school itself and to be able to have an education. And if I can give you guys advice, definitely make one of those and write 3 things you're grateful for at night, because you go back and realize, like, wow, I have so much to be grateful for. Like, I started this at the beginning of the semester, and now I look back and it just scrolls and scrolls worth of everything I'm grateful for. And it's just so nice because, again, we don't realize it. We don't realize how much we have to be thankful for. So with that, my mindset started looking towards the good. The more I started looking for the good, the more that it came, and gradually school became better. my anxiety started to slow down more and more, just like being at a coping level versus like a panic level. And I started getting used to the environment I was in. And now I could not love UNH more. I was like, at the end of the year, I want to stay. Give me another week. I want to be with these people. I love them to death. They are my people. And that was definitely noticeable to people around me. Generally, just people start noticing when you're happy. And it became full circle. My friends would text me and they were like, Caroline, we are so happy to see you happy. Just the smile on your face is something we have not seen. Like at UNH, there was no such thing as Caroline and smiling till sophomore year. I realized like nothing changed about my mindset. I was still with the same friends, still in the same sorority, with the same people, living situation, same. Everything was the same except the way my mindset switched. And if I didn't have that mindset, I would have missed out on so much, and I never would have met the wonderful friends I have or experienced the things I did. And by doing that and focusing solely on my mindset, it began to make things easier, like at a level I could cope with better. And then it made me want to keep going and want to keep trying because the goal was in reach and it was in a comfortable area because I kept going closer to what I wanted to do. It just got a little easier each time and a little better each time. That's the start with anything, that you have to start somewhere and you have to keep going. So first, if there's one thing I can tell you about starting, it's to start right now and stop waiting and sitting on your life. Because if I didn't start, I don't know where I would have been today. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. You discover so many new things about yourself you would have never discovered if you did not start. And stop waiting. Stop waiting for yourself to be prepared more because it's inevitable. You are never going to be perfectly prepared. You can always do something more to make it perfect. And that's why at a point, you just have to take that jump and start on the thing you want to do. If you want to get back on track, if you want to get in a health routine, follow your dreams, whatever you want to do, it has to start somewhere. And you're not going to get anywhere until you start it. Like, you have time to learn and grow. But if you do not start now, you're going to regret it. You're going to look back because life is so short and you're going to be like, I wish I did that. I wonder what my life would have been like that. Don't leave yourself to wonder. Start now. Do what you want to do. And I know something just came to every one of your minds. I know that there is that one thing you've been wanting to do, but you're too nervous, too scared to take that jump start. But here I am going to give you that push because you cannot sleep on your dreams. You are going to start this and you are going to do this because if you want them to turn into something, you have to start. And most of the time, when you look back on your life, you're going to be like, oh, what would have that been like? And you're going to regret not taking that step to start like I did. For me, a few years ago, I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I bought the Canon G7X, planned out my videos, and did nothing about it. I bought everything, and I was too lazy, and I cared too much what other people thought. I didn't have confidence in myself. And I was like, oh, I wish I could have done that. I wish I could. And every once in a while, I think back at that time and I was like, what would I have gone? Maybe something would have came out of that. Where would I have been right now? Could have that taken off? But I don't know because I didn't even try. And now here I am looking back, like what could have happened with that and not exploring that. You don't have to look back and always have that thought in your mind if you do it. All that positivity can come from doing it. You need to fulfill all the possible opportunities that are circling your head and leave them with no question. And you're going to take it from me and all of my regret of not doing what I wanted to do for me and for myself, and you're going to start. And when you do start, which you are going to, you're not going to give a second to think about all the negative what ifs and spiral down a path that you don't need to spiral in. You're going to switch your mindset to a positive of all the what ifs that could happen. For me, my podcast, I was nervous, just like everyone is to start something new. But I was like, what if this opens up my career to so many opportunities? Or what if this helps someone that just needs that help? Or what if I give a voice to someone who can't share theirs? I don't know. But there's so many positive what ifs. And it all starts with your mindset, but it also starts with getting out of your comfort zone and starting something new. Because your comfort zone can be one of your biggest setbacks, like it was for me. I let my mindset backset me 10 steps while I moved one step forward. It never got me fully back because I was always like, oh, nope, I can't do it. My mind's out. Oh, it's not going to let me. That's where I went wrong. And I always stayed in the comfort zone of my friends because it was almost like routine. And that routine became comfortable for me. And I never wanted to try anything else because it's just easier to be in your comfort, but you're never going to grow if you don't get out of that zone. And I didn't want to because I didn't want my anxiety to be triggered. And just with being in a new situation or environment, it always got triggered. And I was like, why even try? Because I'm happy where I am in this little comfy bubble. But everyone just kept going and evolving and growing. And here I was sitting in this circle. Like going to college, I always wished that me and my friends were at the same school. And I always wanted to live a life like through them and always be with them. And I was like, these girls are my bridesmaids. These are my for lifers. And of course, like they are my best friends for life. But if I didn't go to college, I would have not met the rest of them. I would have not met more of my bridesmaids or more of my people, as cliche as it is. And thank gosh I got out of my comfort zone and went to college with none of my friends at home. Not because I don't love them to death, but going by myself and meeting new people was the best thing for me. And if I had not done it and transferred home, I would have never met my best friends and I would have never found this side to me. And it's so important to break out of that loop of your comfort and expand it, because if you stay in the comfort of yourself, you're not going to be able to grow and to move on to bigger and better things. I like to think of it like a roller coaster. My therapist would always say it's a worry hill, and you go up the worry hill like a roller coaster. At first, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough getting up there before you reach the top. I'm doing this with my hands right now. I always visualize this. And when you get to the top, it's going to be bumpy going down, but it's going to be a lot more smoother sailing because you work so hard to get up the hill. So you're only going to have a few bumps and turns, but every roller coaster has turns. Every roller coaster has bumps. And once you get to that top, you're going to be so much better. And you get to that top with trying new things and starting. And that's how life begins to get better, because you're taking risks and you're starting something. Because really, you can't figure out what's for you if you don't spend time trying to find things that could be very well for you. Like, I was on Pinterest the other day. Again, see, I love Pinterest. I am such a sucker for Pinterest. And the other day, I was going through a bunch of photos and quotes, and I saw this quote and it said, your life doesn't get better by chance, your life gets better by change. And that is so true. If you don't change how your life's going and you're just complaining in the negative, your life's not going to get better. Your life's going to stay the exact same because you're not doing anything to change it and you're staying in your bubble. And it starts with your attitude and how you view things around you. And when you're training your mindset to be a more positive one and a more workable one, you're going to use the word yet. So in the beginning of this, I wasn't really good at podcasting. I was all over the place. The amount of time it's taken me to record this episode is a lot. So I would say I'm not getting the hang of this yet, or I don't really get this yet, but in the future I will. By using the word yet, it lets you know that there's going to be a time you get it. It might not be right now because, everyone struggles at a point, obviously. Like, that's the point of starting. Like, you're going to struggle at first. But when you use yet, at some point in the future, you're going to obtain it and you're not putting yourself down for failure. You're setting yourself up because at some point you're going to obtain that. And yet is such an important word. So use the word yet. Yet. But good word, and use it. It's also important that you surround yourself with people who are going to do nothing but hype you up when you start. You need to be surrounded by those people that any moment you have a little downfall, they are going to help you climb back up to the top and they're going to help you through it. You are not going to surround yourself with people who bring you down or make fun of what you're trying to do. And you're also not going to be that person that makes fun of people, because everyone's trying so many things. And everyone's already scared of starting alone. But you're not going to be mean talking about them because they're doing what they want to do. Because honestly, most people that just talk negatively about what someone else is doing, it's usually just because people aren't comfortable in their own skin. Like, just let them talk. If people are talking, it honestly means that you're probably doing something right because you're doing something worth talking about. And if it's all positive, good things, and they're just talking to put you down, who cares? Because in 5 years from now, you're going to look back and you're going to be so happy you did that. Even if you just tried, you're going to be so happy. Honestly, with this podcast, people are probably going to have something to say. I'm probably going to get stuff here and there, but you know what? Let them. 5 years from now, it's not going to matter to me. It's not going to matter. And if they want to talk negative, then let them talk negative. But we're in our positivity era. We are in time to have positivity, to let positivity grow, and we're surrounding ourselves with people that make us happy and positive, that don't drown on our dreams and don't look down when we're trying to do something awesome. At school, my friend Casey, me and her would go on hot girl walks every day, and we would do nothing but hype each other up those whole walks. And by the end of the walk, we were in our happiest place. We were so happy because we helped each other and we lifted each other throughout that walk. We were like, you got this, girl. And we just kept going with each other. Like, you can do this. You're going. Like, you're going to do it. You're going to start. You're going to follow those dreams. You're going to be that person you want to be. And those are the best friendships ever. Those people who do that for you. Go on those walks with people who make you feel like $1,000,000. Just those walks. Like, that's what you need. You need those walks with people who are just going to build you up and make people want to do what they want to do. Be that person who helps people take that jump and surrounds them with nothing but good and nothing but open arms, because sometimes people just need to hear it. Sometimes people just need to hear from another person that they can do it and they have support from someone else. So when someone is wanting to do something, please, please, please be that supportive person that lets them know that they can do it and that you will be by their side for the whole thing. That's another thing. Just be everyone's cheerleader. No matter what they want to do, just be everyone's cheerleader from the sideline and just wish nothing but the best for everyone, because it is so freeing to be that person for other people and to just lift people up and give them the positivity that they need, because everyone needs to be lifted up. And just like when my friend sent me that text, you don't even know you're lifting people up sometimes, and you just do it and it changes people's lives immensely when you don't even think it will, but it does, and it's so important. And with that, if there's anything you can take away from today's episode, it's first that you take that step out of your comfort zone to not only better yourself and better your life, but to get the absolute most out of your youth or whatever age you're at, because you're only that age once, and you never want to look back with regret or knowing that you missed out because you let your thoughts get the best of you, because life is so, so short and you want to take advantage of every opportunity you can. I hope you guys take that step and do what you want to do and be that person for people if you're not in the time to do it for yourself. Because life moves on and you have to keep going. You have to get on that train or watch it go without you. And remember, think what's the absolute best that could happen? What is the best that could happen? Because there's so many wonderful hidden opportunities out there. I'm so excited that this journey to On the Bright Side has finally begun, and I hope I inspired you guys to do something you want to do. I will have my social medias linked down below. If you guys want to give me feedback, requests, whatever you want, my messages are open. And enjoy your day. I will be back next week with another episode that I'm excited for you guys to hear. And stay looking on the bright side. And I promise you, it'll do you really good. Love you guys. See you next week.